welcome to my channel, my private personal channel. And this trip we're getting a short 4-day trip to Xi'an in China, the ancient capital city of China. It's my sister and my assistant, Miss May, going together. Right now we're based in Bangkok at Suvarnabhumi Airport, taking a 3.5-hour flight to Xi'an. Xi'an is obviously an amazing city full of rich history into Mahayana Buddhism. Showing you around some of these amazing temples that I've read about. One of the reasons that I want to record this trip is because for me, obviously the idea, I was brought up in a Western way, the idea of going to China, with me being unable to speak any Chinese, can be quite daunting. So this is my first time after COVID that I'm visiting China without a tour group. And this is my second time to China traveling alone like this with just my friends. So I've done a lot of homework prior to this, and it's good to just cover some of these details so that the next time I go I can exactly remember what I have to do to get the trip together. So the first thing that's obviously the very daunting aspect of China is the fact that their society is pretty much cashless. So now obviously one has to download Alipay. So that, you can many videos on that on YouTube to look at it, but obviously the rules keep changing, upgrading all the time, so you have to follow the latest rules and new features all the time. But it took us a while to get it going, so we're able to obviously sign up to Alipay and then link our credit card, Visa card and MasterCard with it. Also getting around in China, I think we're going to go with taxi because we're mainly staying in Xi'an. So we'll hope our luck with just the normal kind of waving for taxi, but we've downloaded the Didi app as well, so that's like Uber of China. So that is supposed to be relatively simple, and that's the same way it's linked to the credit card and for her the travel card. So regarding navigation, so with the mapping app, so in the West we're used to Google Map, and that's really convenient, but that's not going to work fully in China just because it's not as accurate regarding the maps in China. So we managed to download the Baidu map app as well. So that's going to help us, using both apps will help us with the navigation. So, and lastly is the language translation app, right? So normally again we would go by Google Translate, but we just download Baidu Translate app as well to make sure that we get as accurate as we can. So there'll be moments when we have to type in, if we want to go to a cafe or something, type in cafe in Google Translate, having that translated in Chinese and put that in Baidu map, something like that. So the last point, so obviously in China there's a great Chinese firewall, so you have to use some kind of VPN. We're from Thailand, so we've kind of opened the roaming from Thailand, so that should evade the Great Firewall by itself, but we just download the VPN just to make sure. Okay, we're getting on the flight now. So a lot of the stuff we have to fill in, say the health form, you have to type in someone who or is related to in China. So I'm just lucky just to happen to have a cousin who actually works in China, but that could be slightly tricky for someone who hasn't got anyone over there. Another tricky part that we really had to work through was the fact that many of the tourist attractions and even some of the temples that we like to go to, obviously the tickets for some of them can be a little tricky because of the high demand, and also because a lot of the tickets have to be booked in advance, and everything is in Chinese, so that's going to be rather tricky for a lot of the people. So that's why actually booking an international chain hotel is a good idea, because you can just have your hotel staff, your concierge, doing that for you. So, for someone like us who are not really well versed in the system of the Chinese apps, better go with an international hotel. And we have to sign up for, say, WeChat, which is like the Chinese WhatsApp. And that signing up itself is already tricky, because you have to have a reference for someone who has a WeChat app already. So a lot of things can be a little tricky. But eventually you work through them. And obviously the rules will keep changing. Welcome to Xi'an. We've arrived in Xi'an. มาถึง Xi'an แล้วนะครับ It's really important that when you come to China, especially you come on your own without a tour, that you we come on it's important that we come by ourselves, because we didn't come with a tour. So the airport staff, they're gonna check everything really thoroughly. So it's really important to print everything out on paper, so you can explain to them, you're just coming here for tourism, you're staying in these hotels on certain days. They're just being very strict, but actually you have to give them applause. They're doing a very good job at that. So nothing to be intimidated about. Actually, I found that the staff are nowadays, in 2023, extremely helpful and very friendly, and they all try to speak English as well, and really assist us in any way that we can. So big round of applause, really good. This is after COVID time. I guess the authority are just being extremely careful with the visitors coming here, especially without tour group. So it's would be really helpful to have a known Chinese contact who lives in China that you can jot down. They were very serious about that one. So we were very fortunate to have a cousin who lives in the town of Chengdu, and when we told the staff the name and show them the WeChat contact, he was then after that very happy to assist us, to lead us on our way. So now we're gonna try to use Alipay, see if that works, and then we're just gonna call the taxi and get to our hotel. So I'll see you soon. So now my sister, she's buying a bottle of water to test out if Alipay works. So she's linked that with her Visa card, and she's put on the
ไปที่อันนี้
kind of like
ได้แล้ว
แล้ว
เพย์แล้วเขาจะสแกน
มันจะมี2วิธีเราสแกนเขากับเขาสแกนเรา
so she pressed the button for the QR code and the lady scanned with that, and that's all paid. Very simple. So that works. So very very happy.
ง่ายมาก
ง่ายมากนะครับ
20 บาท
ก็ผูกบัตรไว้กับ Alipay บัตรวีซ่าของเราเสีย So we have arrived at our hotel. It's the Westin Xi'an. So this hotel is actually like nice and quite expensive, but I think it's well worth it. Consider we're right opposite the giant wild goose pagoda. So it's got an elegant view of the giant wild goose pagoda. It's got a massive shopping center outside. And now with the new project just finished, the Tang Everbright, which is a new kind of nighttime, evening time kind of open air walking street, all the way from the giant Wild Goose Pagoda to down. So we'll go and explore that. So now we are in our hotel now in Western Xi'an, which is right in the middle of it all. So it's a very nice hotel. Everyone's, the staff are English speaking as well, so it's really nice. So we've arrived today at the hotel on our first day to Xi'an, and now we are right at the giant Wild Goose Pagoda area. So you can see from behind me, that's the giant Wild Goose Pagoda at night. And now this has been really well developed here by the government, by the tourism here. So they obviously now it's nighttime, so the temple is closed, but the pagoda is well lit. And I'll explain more about the importance of the pagoda tomorrow. But obviously outside the temple, they've created this massive complex, and they call it the Tang Everbright city. So it's a really quite majestic, quite impressive touristic kind of place. It's a nighttime walking kind of thing. But I think it's really well done. Personally, I really like it because they keep it well separated from the temple. And all the Chinese youngsters, they come out and they wear their Chinese costumes, traditional costumes, so that everyone come out, wear their costumes, take their photos. I think it's really nice. It makes people really appreciate, the beautiful ancient Chinese culture. You can see here some people behind us, wearing nice costume. So it's really well done, this Tang Everbright. We come here on a normal day, weekday, so it's a bit quieter, but I presume on a Friday will be a bit more crowd. Yeah, so with this whole bright, the light display and everything is a real nice mix between modernity and, the ancient architecture and culture, and it makes the whole thing really lively. We're almost midnight now, and the Chinese people still come out, walk around, take photos, play around. A lot of family out with their kids, makes it really lively. Everyone's in a good mood. It's really good. Turn the camera a little bit for you to see. ชมบรรยากาศรอบๆนะครับ So this looks like Christmas, something we would have, in Thailand anyway, something we would have over the New Year period. But here it's every day. Yeah, it's really impressive how something of this atmosphere in the West, would only happen, I guess, during the festive period. But you come here to Xi'an at the Great Wild Goose Pagoda, you get this atmosphere every day. Really beautiful. Okay, I will walk around, explore a little bit more, and I'll see you again tomorrow.